alongside like the First Hour and stuff, which everyone knows us working together for and stuff and that kind of thing. You have been up to so much cool stuff like away from that, and over the years, like alongside your gaming stuff and Jinx, the stuff that you're doing in the sports space, because you have stuck with sports big time as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, bad British commentary was something which blew up for you.
For sure, yeah.
What inspired that? Like, what was the kind of beginnings of that?
I think it was like on Jinx. I was trying to work out how to make sports stuff funny and interesting. And then I was just looking at sort of highlights of American sports and thought, wouldn't it be funny to commentate on American sports as an English person, not knowing what's going on in American sports. So the first thing I did was I did some NBA 2K basketball footage, and I turned the commentary off, and I simulated computer versus computer, and then I commentated over the top and released that. And I didn't really think anything of it, but it was picked up by like Kotaku and Grantland and Yahoo and places like that, and they were just saying, this British guy doesn't know anything about basketball, but this is amazing. And I was just saying like almost like football commentary, but for basketball, and putting in just some weird and wonderful.
But it was so funny, mate. It wasn't like comments. It was lucky. It genuinely was. I mean, it was really funny.
and they really liked that. So I thought then that was good with video game footage. Let's try it with actual real life footage. So I did a baseball game as if I was a cricket commentator. I think it was the New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox. And I just did 2-3 minutes of real highlights. I edited it together. And I commentated over the top of it. I had to turn down the commentary of the real game. And then it did like 1 million views in like a day and a half. I thought, blimey. It was like the top thing on Reddit and all of this. And people just quoting it and saying, because I just said wowzers in me trousers for like a home run. People love that.
For the American market as well. They're like, what is wowzers in your trousers?
But a lot of people thought it was a real commentator from England.
Oh, right, okay.
So I think I did it again for a American football game between Notre Dame and Alabama. And Notre Dame, I thought they were from France. I thought they were from like Paris. I thought it was like a cathedral team.
A cathedral team? So I've heard of church teams, but a cathedral team. Wow, okay.
Cathedral.
Okay.
Side football team.
Yeah.
Turned out that, they're a big college.
We're one of the biggest ones,
sure.
like who have got diehard fans, yeah.
I did like 3 minutes of American football commentary, turned the sound down, and it did 5 million views in like 2 days. It was like the biggest video on the internet. And it was on like, it was on morning television and on Fox and CNN and again like Yahoo and all of these.
Were you surprised at how
massively.
big they because having watched them, they are amazing, and you can see how the viral nature of them as well. And definitely recommend people checking them out because they are
bad
brilliant.
British commentary.
Yeah. And they went huge. But I mean, did you kind of just put a stop to it in the end and say, I don't want to do this anymore, or did you kind of evolve it into something different?
Well, I think this is what like where other people and I'm probably not as successful, because once I've done something, I kind of want to do something else. But there's people like Bad Lip Reading, which is amazing. But it's a similar sort of vein, right? It's a similar concept. Like Bad Lip Reading is like amazing.
Seagulls, the Star Wars song, is the song of my life.
And my bad British commentary is like another funny way of doing audio around existing footage, right?
Yeah.
And so I did like the bad British commentary stuff, and then I got people like Dolby and Coca-Cola and people asking me to do like adverts and viral stuff for them, which I did, and like they obviously paid and stuff, and that was great. But then it's like, right, I've done that. What's the joke? The joke is just doing the same again and again and again and again. And for YouTube, obviously that's big because that's how you make money and stuff, because you just keep doing the same thing again and again and again.
Was it good money from the bad British commentary videos?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like, right, well, I don't think I can do this again and again and look at myself in the mirror and being like, are you actually doing anything new here?
Are you kind of selling out a little bit by doing the same?
So then I did a few this year, like now and then, just for the basket. So I do one now and then.
Yeah.
But I just think that once you've done it, you don't want to be doing it every week because everyone gets bored, right?
Yeah.
It's like you know stuff about American football now, don't you?
Yeah.
Because you're watching it again and again.
But I think that's the thing though with content creation in general. A lot of people, when they find the hook, they find something that they know
what's to death.
Just keep going and just keep putting out there because they know it gets views and eventually it's going to start to wane. But I know what you mean. You're more of a creative person who wants to
just want to do new things. Just want to keep doing new things. A lot of stuff I do, like sketches and ideas, they're like not very. They're just niche, really niche. I do something, I think that's really funny. Let's try that. 87 views. Good. Nice one. Well done. Move on.
It's so demoralizing.
But I'd rather do that than, no, I wouldn't rather do that. I'd rather do something that was successful every time, but just trying something new, really. I think that you just, as a creator, as someone who creates stuff every day, I'm writing stuff all the time, then I need to be doing new stuff.
Yeah.
And also, it's kind of diminishing returns. I did 5 million views with one video. You're not going to get better than that.
Yeah,
you did better than the Gap Year sketch.
I mean, the Gap Year sketch.
Yeah, the Gap Year. You know that Gap Year sketch? Gap Year.
Yeah.
Like, that's like sort of the most view, that everyone says that's the biggest view. It's done more than that.
Because there is that really, and I've been through the same thing as well. You make a video, like, I've got my wedding speech online, right?
Yeah.
And I put it on there and, it's Disney themed and it's got around 400,000 views. So for me, that's my kind of biggest kind of video I've put online. But when you put a video up which doesn't hit a certain, you said 87 views, doesn't hit a certain number, you kind of go, why have I bothered? It's not my full-time job.
People like this? What could I have done better?
Yeah, exactly.
They're wrong. Yeah. I'm right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been commissioned to make FIFA Predicts, which is computer versus computer, taking an upcoming game in real life. Say this weekend it was Man City versus Spurs. Taking that game and then simulating it in FIFA, computer versus computer, and then commentating over the top.
Right, yes.
So I have done 200 episodes of that for various companies, and I do it every week. And I have to say, sometimes it's like, how can I make this fresh and new? But it's a topical show. It's like I'm taking what's happening in the real football world and I'm satirizing it in this. So it's always slightly different and it's always new. Whereas the bad British commentary, it's like, I don't know anything about this sport. I'm pretending, well, not even pretending. I don't know anything about this sport. I'm commentating on a sport I've got no idea about. Can I sustain this for 50 episodes or whatever? The answer is it's going to stretch a bit thin.
Yeah.
That's by its nature, right?
Yeah. I mean, it must be hard as well, because I remember when you were doing FIFA Predicts, because you were doing kind of something similar way back in the day, weren't you? With I think when you were doing Jinx stuff, you were doing something kind of similar with Game Sport or something.
Yeah.
But they must be hard as well, because obviously people are looking for highlights of games online. Yeah. And if you put up the highlight, you put up Man City versus Spurs, as you say, and put it online and put it out there and have FIFA Predicts into the game, people obviously go on there thinking they're going to see the actual highlights of the game, and they get frustrated thinking, oh, it's this computer thing, it's clickbait, and you're like, it's not, it's something completely different.
It's a funny show, previewing the game in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, people after the event are looking for highlights, but I think if you're not savvy enough to realize from the thumbnail that it's definitely a computer game, and then by looking at the title,
it's so hard. It's so hard to get.
You need to go away from the computer.
It's so hard to get in the psyche of people watching the videos, because you think, okay, they're just as familiar with stuff as I am, that kind of thing, or you have to kind of play it down, or kind of assume that they've never seen an internet piece of content before in their entire life, and you've got to really make it obvious.
Yeah, it's
really hard to kind of, I guess that's where you kind of get your community and your channel kind of, you know exactly what they're after, what they like to see over time. But if you do something like, you put a video together with 5 million views, as you did with you've got viewers from all over the world, from every kind of news outlet or the source, who watch kind of all different kinds of stuff, who've been kind of showing your video.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you? What's your market? Who's your demographic? You've got no idea.
Well, you just have to make what you like.